It's another big box, and that means something special. Better stay tuned. This is your Geek Fix. So last time we began completing the left arm, and we'll continue to do the same today. Here I have some more parts for that arm, and we're doing issues 19 through 22. Some of these parts I don't recognize from the other arm just yet, but at the same time, big pieces. Once again, this thing is so large. I don't see how it could possibly be the same size as my other Iron Man figure, but whatever. Then, down here in the bottom, I can lift up this paper and there's nothing inside. What? So in this case, there's nothing else inside that box. Even though it's a much bigger box. I don't know, maybe they just ran out of smaller boxes? I don't know. But nothing inside, nothing exciting that way, but there are some really big parts. I mean, look at that. That's arm parts. They look like they should be leg parts. They're so big. So let's jump right into it. We got, this looks like the Hulkbuster armor. Getting into the introduction of Deathclock, and then our left forearm and elbow is the next piece. Let's see here. We got right and left is the way it should go. So left arm. The pieces that I'm needing here look like these right here. Look like these right here. That part. And so I've got two pieces. Actually, these are both plastic pieces too. I'm kind of surprised. They did a really good job of integrating the colors paint app on this. So I'm going to be lining this up like this, it looks like, and bringing out this piece right here, which is how we're finally going to cover up these holes that I had. So the holes, we had to have this part open in order to be able to screw in some screws, and now I'm just going to stick this right under there, and it's done. Okay, easy enough. Now, the elbow pieces, which I struggled with on the last one for some reason. I don't know why. So, first, I think it just had to do with the direction of things. So, you want 19C to click on to L1. And on the sides, you'll be able to see that we have L1 right there. And then this right here has 19C underneath it. So, yeah, now I'm remembering why this part was hard. It doesn't just nicely want to click into here. It's like it's an atypical fit or something. Oh, that one I got both sides on. Oh, yeah. All right. And now, this piece goes onto here, just like that. Yep, there we go. And that completes that portion of the arm. Check it out, we're introducing Black Panther at this point. And again, She-Hulk, who has a series coming out very soon. And with that, we're on to our next issue, which is building the left shoulder joint. So, grabbing issue 20. So if you didn't know it, Iron Man 3 is actually one of my favorite movies of all of them. And that's what's featured primarily during this one. Also, Tony Stark's mansion. I built a 1/12 scale version of that, which I still have to feature at some point in time. So this one's a little tricky, as I remember. Basically, we're doing the same thing that we had to build on the other arm, just now in reverse direction. It's interesting to me that some of their packages have a little area for the screws and others don't. So this time I don't have to worry about losing the screws as I'm taking things out. There's also a couple of little bolts in this one. And so some EM screws and 2 bolts. There we go. I think one thing that's kind of interesting about this part of the build is that they use, instead of a lubricant, they actually have these stickers that you use, and they seem to be pretty effective. First thing I need to do is to get this part right here out, and I'm going to put on some of those stickers right away. So we just peel these off like so, and then stick them on to this. Trying to line it up with that hole. There we go. On one side, and then again on the other. Then I got to do the same thing on these pieces right here on one side, here and right here. Perfect. Now we have to pay really close attention to where the little niches are on the backs here. So you can see that on one side they're lower than on the other. And so this one right here, I want to put on to this piece right here. And so I'm going to be sliding this on. And this will keep the arm and that little area from rotating. And I got that piece. That means that this one right here will be going on right here. Just like that. And then I'm going to be taking this area and that area, and I'm going to take this, putting it right in between, taking this piece first and putting it on top of this one like that. Then taking this one, flipping it over. Okay, so once when I have it like this, then on this side you can see that there's a little area that's shaped just right for one of these little bolts right here. Just like that. And then through the other side, while you hold that in place, right? So I'm going to hold that in place with my finger. Now I'm going to take this screw and I'm going to be sticking it all the way through the center there and screwing it into that bolt that I'm still pushing up on using my finger. And just like my other parts, the tighter I can make that, the more that this joint will kind of be strong and hold things. Because I don't need this to be like super fast moving. I want it to be something that's strong enough I can adjust the elbow or whatever into a position that it'll hold. So there's that. Now that becomes my elbow for this side, but they haven't told me to put it onto the arm yet, so I guess we're just setting that aside. I have a couple of these now. Next we get into the Iron Man for the 21st century. This is about Extremis, which is the idea of building the super soldiers and how to do that can actually even compete with Iron Man. All this information came from Iron Man Volume 4, number 1. And that brings us to our next issue, issue 21. Again, more about the Mandarin. I don't know what it is. I guess in some ways I do like the movie version better because I kind of always felt that the Mandarin was kind of one of those more hokey figures in Iron Man, whereas I think one of the things I liked about the movies is that they kept a lot of even the supervillains a little bit more realistic to some level. Alright, so the parts that we're going to need now are these ones right here. Whoops. Again, the screws are separate, so watch out for those. Here's our packaging, which has some springs in it. Got to be really careful at this point because we just raised our level of possibility for error. I'm going to need my left arm again. Left shoulder. So this is the left shoulder, right there. So the first thing I want to do is attach one of these springs using one of these screws. So, oh boy. Now the springs have one closed end and one that's open, okay? So the closed end is the one that we're gonna be screwing onto the joint. So let's see here. So here's the closed end, I think, and then this one is the open end. So I wanna screw this one down I think, flat end down first. So get my black screw here. Okay. And I need to do that on both sides. So again, getting my screw, putting it down through that spring. Again, leaving it slightly loose so I can move it around as necessary. Okay, so next, what we're gonna be doing I've got my hole up on this side, my elbow bending part right here, and I'm putting that notch so it's on the top as it slides in. There we go, just like that. And then we're gonna take and put those open ends of the screw right there. Bare bones. There it goes. See? Pull, pull, pull. All right, and then same thing on this side. Okay, so my springs are on both sides now, like that. All right. Our next step is that we're going to be putting on these pieces. Again, we're wanting the notch sides to be where they hook onto here. You get a big hole and a little hole, so it should hook together just like that on one side, and then just like this on the other. Snap, snap. You can hear some snaps. This magazine closes out by talking about Stark Industries and basically where it goes from being his father's business more and more into Tony Stark's. You also see where Fantastic Four eventually gets involved, which there's a lot of promise that Fantastic Four is coming to the Marvel Universe pretty soon, but we'll see what happens there. There was some teasers inside the Spider-Man series as well. Now we're on to volume 22, which looks a lot like one of the volumes that we did in the last video, but I guess there's nobody chasing him in this picture. War Machine is featured on the front, and on this one we're going to be doing a little bit more with that shoulder. I think it was right about the other volume that had War Machine on it, but this one actually talks more about War Machine itself and or himself. And then we're into our last parts here. It looks like they're again using some stickers kind of similar to the last portion that I think are for the purpose of lubricant or something along that line. Look how big these are. Did you hear that? I mean, yeah. These are huge. Look how big they are just compared to my hand. That's part of his arm. What I'm going to be doing is I'm looking at this side on each of these. This side's right there. And we're going to be taking these stickers and we're going to be applying them to that outer side. So there we are. Yeah. And we will be getting the forearm, still for the left arm. I'm going to be placing this piece right here. So there's a little hole right there, which will fit right through a little hole right here, locking that into place. And then we got one for a screw right there. I'm going to take that screw, screw it right onto there. There we go. That holds that part. I'm going to get that piece that we held to the side last time. And also my shoulder joint, which I'm gonna separate out here. This is the shoulder joint that we're working with right now. So I sticking this through there, sticking those hooked together like that. And then I need to put a screw. It's going to go through this hole over here to hold this in place. Screwing that down. Yeah, and then I'm going to put another one in. I thought so. Right here. Okay, like that. All right, so those stickers I put in there will make it so it can swivel like this without it ruining anything. And then, got that portion done. Now, we need to put on the other side of this arm, which is right here. Putting that on like so. And now we're going to be putting in 2 of these EM screws. These are the little black screws I've been using. One and another one. Okay. There we go. Wow. Yeah, I really appreciate the articulation on this thing and how it all works. It's very impressive. So basically, I think the way that this works is that this part right here, because it's spring loaded, you can raise it and lower it so that when that shoulder pad's laying on there, it'll be able to move up and down based on my movements without me having to adjust it. Shoulder pads on the Iron Man figures are always tricky and interesting to see how they're making them work. So anyway, that is that piece all done. Just right there, that little baby arm. Look how big it is. That is huge. Any rate, Pepper Potts. I actually have a Pepper Potts figure, a build that I'm going to be doing for a very special scene that I think will be pretty cool to reenact a scene that happens in Iron Man 3, where she has the Mark 42. That's the end of that box, and these are our parts so far. Want to thank Fanhome for providing us with this model to be able to review, but they also gave us a promo code, so if you're interested in purchasing this, use the code Tony Stark. Also, I'll continue to review these as they come out, so if you can't get it, you can also experience this by proxy. Remember to like, subscribe, comment below, keep watching. This is your Geek Fix.